Hey, it's Mr. Clegg. Welcome to part two of the factor label method or dimensional analysis. Now we're going to tackle a problem that's a little bit more difficult. We're supposed to be converting 28 meters per second to kilometers per hour. So how many kilometers per hour is that? So we're just going to set this up. First, we're going to write our number that's not 1, unless it happens to be 1. Our measurement number, we're going to write it like this. And we're going to make a big line here and put the bottom unit way down in the bottom like this. So we're gonna set it up like a big fraction. Now the denominator here is actually 1. So it's 28 meters in 1 second. That's what we're saying here. So this is what we need to convert to kilometers per hour. Now again, we're going to multiply this by a bunch of things that are all equal to 1. And each one, as long as we can set these up in advance. I kind of like that. These sort of look like those TIE bombers things from Star Wars, or maybe little frogs or something. But we're going to put numbers in there, but the numbers in the top and bottom have to be equal, so that this whole thing is equal to 1, this whole thing is equal to 1, and so is that. So it doesn't really matter where we start, but we want to choose one of these units to get rid of, because meters doesn't appear in our final answer and seconds doesn't appear in our final answer. So we have to cancel out this meter. Let's go ahead and start with the meters. We want to get to kilometers. So let's look for, I don't know. Oh, I guess I didn't write that one in here, but we know that 1,000 meters is a kilometer because of that SI prefix kilo. So we're gonna figure out, where do we need to put the meters so it cancels out? That's the first thing we do. So we put the meters down here so that it will cancel out with that meters on the top. Kilometers go up here. And so now we're going to put the numbers to make that true, so it's equal. So 1,000 meters down here and 1 kilometer up top. Now we can cancel that out, cancel out the meters. And now we're going to keep going. So now we have kilometers per second once we do the calculation. So kilometers are done, but we now have to work on the seconds and turn that into an hour. So we need to go and put seconds in the top. And now we need to figure out what conversion factor we're going to use. So seconds to something else. Well, let's go, looks like seconds to minutes. We know that. So seconds to minutes. And then we put 60 minutes in a second, right? Just checking to see if you're paying attention. 60 minutes in a second? No. 60 seconds in a minute. I really did do that on purpose. Sometimes I make mistakes, but that one was just a check. All right, so 60 seconds in a minute. And so now we're going to go back and cancel out seconds. I like to cancel things out differently for different things, so I know which thing canceled with which. So that kind of slash is for that. Okay, now we have kilometers per minute. We're almost there. We need kilometers per hour. So let's take the minutes. We want to get rid of that. Put it up here. Minutes. And then let's put hours down here. And we actually have that. Sometimes we use HR. Sometimes we use H. It's not really a standard SI unit, so we have different abbreviations for it. So we're going to put 60 minutes per hour, and then we can cancel out. I always like to cancel out units beforehand to make sure I've done it properly. Let's do a double slash for this minutes and a double slash here. Looks like we've canceled out minutes on the top and bottom. And now let's check and make sure we got all the units canceled out. Looks like everything's gone except for kilometers per hour, which is exactly what we're looking for, and that's perfect. So if I had room, I'd put an equal sign here and we keep going, but I'm going to put it down here. So I'm going to write down my units first, leaving room for the number. So here's my answer, kilometers per hour. Now is a good time to pause your video and pick up your calculator if you don't have one already. Pause the video, get a calculator, do this calculation, and then see what you get. Make sure it's the same thing that I get. All right, if you're not sure how to do this calculation, just follow along with me. So I'm going to take 28. Put it in my calculator. Then I'm going to multiply by 1. I don't need to multiply by 1, so I'm going to skip that one. So I'm just going to take my 28. I'm going to hit divide by 1,000. Then I'm going to put times 60. And I'm going to put times 60 again. And then I'm going to hit equals. And I get the answer 100.8. All right, we're not dealing with significant figures yet. But if you know how to deal with significant figures, then let's round this. This is a perfectly good answer if we're not yet dealing with significant figures. But if you do want to deal with significant figures, you can say that this is approximately equal to 100 kilometers per hour. So either one of these answers would be acceptable depending on your situation. Okay, that's it. Stay tuned for part 3.